Mr. Speaker, I rise today to urge support for H.R. 3205, the Promoting Adoption and Legal Guardianship for Children in Foster Care Act. Now, I look old enough to be a grandfather, and I am a grandfather, a proud grandfather of 6. But 2 of my grandchildren are adopted grandchildren. Now, I was a foster grandfather. My daughter and her husband were foster parents for a while, and they ended up finding 2 children that they really wanted to include as part of their family. And these 2 children today are 9 and 10, and soon to be 10 and 11 here in the next few months. They were 3 months old when they came into the house as foster kids, and now are adopted and a part of not only my daughter and her husband's family, but a part of the entire family. The Reichert household has been blessed with their presence. And they have a hope for a successful future with a loving family. And this is what this bill is all about, to encourage parents across this country to adopt foster children. But I also had the opportunity as the sheriff in King County and as a detective in King County to watch from a very close up view of what foster homes looked like. As I walked into those homes as a police officer, as a detective, and questioned how some of these places could even be foster homes. And foster kids running away from home and ending up on the street and not having a place to call their own, not having a place where they could go to have Thanksgiving, to have Christmas, bouncing from one foster home to the next, not knowing who to call, mom or dad. We've got to fix that. We need to encourage parents across this country to adopt our foster children, to give them that opportunity. The other good thing about this bill is bipartisan. So in fact, I can't think of a more important or more bipartisan topic than promoting adoption for our children. That's why we're here today. This is an era where both parties have worked together to improve outcomes for children, and it's been working. In the 10 years from 1987 through 1997, the number of children in foster care rose dramatically, climbing from 300,000 to 537,000. That surge in foster care caseloads is one of the reasons why Congress, led by the current Ways and Means Chairman Dave Camp, passed the Adoption and Safe Families Act in 1997. That law was designed to ensure more foster children were quickly adopted when they couldn't return and live safely with their parents. The Adoption Incentives Program, created as a part of that law, was one key measure to encourage more adoptions of children from foster care. In short, it rewards states if they increase the number of children living in foster care for adoptive homes. It worked since the passage of the Adoption and Safe Families Act. Foster care caseloads have fallen dramatically. After peaking at 567,000 in 1999, foster care caseloads have fallen almost 30%. At the same time, adoptions from foster care increased in the late 90s and remained much higher than before the 1997 law's passage. Now, today we are here to support H.R. 3205, the Promoting Adoption and Legal Guardianship for Children in Foster Care, which will build upon the successes of the Adoption Incentives Program. This legislation extends that program and improves the way we reward states that help more children leave foster care for loving adoptive homes. First, it improves the formulas behind these awards to make sure that even as foster care caseloads continue to come down, states continue to get awards for moving children into adoptive homes. Second, it continues to promote the type of adoptions that have proven hardest to achieve by adding a special award for the adoption of teenage children. We should never give up on trying to find lifelong homes for these children, and this legislation steps up the incentives for states to do just that. And third, we add a new award for guardianship, which is an important development in the child welfare world that is allowing thousands of children to leave foster care and live safely with relatives. This bill also requires states to focus funds on post-adoption services, which help children and families after adoptions have been finalized. And finally, the bill would extend for 3 years the Family Connection Grant Program that is focused on helping children in foster care reconnect with family members. Because funding for that program needs to be offset, we included a common sense pay for, which builds on a current procedure for recovering overpayments of unemployment insurance benefits. Under current law, states may offset federal income tax refunds to collect these overpayments, and 2/3 of states do that today. This legislation would require all states to use this procedure, which will increase overpayment recovery and results in this legislation reducing the deficit by $24 million over the next 10 years. As chairman of the Ways and Means Human Resources Subcommittee with jurisdiction over this program, I'm pleased to report that the process behind developing this bill has been totally bipartisan and open. First, we held a subcommittee hearing in February featuring nonpartisan experts on adoption and child welfare. Then we worked together with our colleagues on the other side of the aisle to develop draft legislation, which was made publicly available in early August. We then worked together to incorporate that public feedback, improving in many ways the legislation that Chairman Camp and I and Ranking Members Levin and Doggett introduced on September 27th. I want to thank the subcommittee's ranking member, Mr. Doggett, who joins me on the floor this evening, as well as our chairman, Mr. Camp, and ranking member, Mr. Levin, for their support of this legislation and for their help throughout this development. This will move us a step forward to closer and closer to ensuring that more children living in the United States live in permanent, loving homes and receive the support they deserve. I invite all members to join us in supporting this important bipartisan legislation and reserve